Like
Yeah.
everything was always my fault, no matter what it
Hmm.
was. Always my fault. Always, I was always the one that had to be apologizing. Always thought that I was on the wrong side, even in situations that I was not.
Yeah.
And also people pleasing. That's a big, big, big one.
Yes, it
Since
is.
I was little,
Hmm.
I would do stuff that I didn't want to do, even in my when I became an adult, until last year that I remember everything, because a lot of these issues I will think about even as a grown woman. If I was like setting up boundaries, I felt so bad. And I was thinking, why do I feel so guilty? Why do I feel like I should put my feelings aside and just people please everyone in my life? And I couldn't like get to the point of it until I remember, and it made a click. Wow, I've been carrying this my whole
Hmm.
life, and this is why I've been people pleasing, and this is why I always like bend myself for others. that
Yeah.
that's big, big, big deals. And doesn't mean that you went through CSA if you have any of these symptoms, but I will heavily suggest just looking inward and seek some professional help if that's what you like, to
Yeah.
understand why that. I feel like that's the big question, why.
Yeah. Yeah. It is pouring out here right now. So if you viewers are hearing a lot of background noise, it is absolutely pouring. So I'm in Florida, so it's hurricane season.
Hmm.
So no, I think you are absolutely right when it comes to people pleasing, because I don't I'm not a doctor. I don't have a PhD in just like how the mind works, but I understand enough. Whenever there's a time for basically everything. When you're
Hmm.
little, it's as simple as that. When your kid asks you for something, hey, dad, I want to be this. I want to do this. Can I have this? You are supposed to have the discernment to tell them that no, you cannot have this right now because you know why. You can give them an explanation. It's always good to do that, to kind of give them something that they can grasp, not just like no, don't do that. But those kids, they're asking for those things, not knowing that it's bad for them. It's because they haven't been fully developed yet mentally. So when you are so young and you are taking advantage of this way, it does something so effed up with your brain, with your mind, that people don't realize sometimes. And if you stop and start connecting dots, which is what I did, a lot of ways that I was acting, whether it's anger, whether it's a weird just flare up within my relationships, my marriage, and stuff like that. So like I would know where those things were coming from
Hmm.
until I start connecting dots, until I start realizing, hey, I have not make amends with this part of my life yet. This happened. How am I dealing with it? Is it
Hmm.
alcohol, which was a thing for me? So I was drinking a little bit more than I wanted to, that I should have. And so there are a lot of ways people cope with those things, and it's almost never the right way. You're just medicating yourself. You just kind of basically putting a band-aid onto a wound that requires stitches, that requires something a little bit more than just
Yeah.
band-aids. Yeah, I mean, I think the
I also
impact is
feel like,
massive. Yeah, go ahead.
sorry, I
Go
also
ahead.
think like that's really connected also to a system, society, and culture that does not give any support to survivors whatsoever.
Bingo.
So that's why
Bingo.
we have coping mechanisms. Well, we had, or that's why they look up other sources to numb yourself, because there's nothing, absolutely nothing that you can say like, oh, I can heal from this, I'm getting the support that I need. There's nothing, especially
Yeah.
in society when
Hmm.
you are supposed to receive support, and instead you receive shame and you receive looked down upon.
Hmm.
Of course you're going to find other ways. So I
Yeah.
also don't want like survivors that are listening and they feel bad about themselves for looking up for these coping mechanisms. That's you did what you had to survive,
Yes.
and
I
now
mean,
you have the power to change that.
yeah.